This week, I wanted to share how I made these 3 super easy Halloween-themed home decor pieces. First, we have this foam pumpkin covered in painted-on cat faces, a black, white, and orange colored wooden bead garland, and these paper cutout bats that we stick on the wall. So first, we're going to use this foam pumpkin, an array of paintbrushes, and black paint in order to decorate this pumpkin. So to paint the cat face, you're just going to want to paint an oval shape first to make the foundation of your cat face, and then you're going to want to give her a little pointy chin, like how real cats have a little pointy chin. And once you're happy with that shape, you can fill in your cat head, and then you can work on your ears. So I gave my cat head, once I perfected the head, I gave her 2 little black pointy ears. And you can use the paintbrush to kind of shape your ears just how you like them. And then lastly, you're going to give your cat face 3 little whiskers on each side. And you're just going to want to repeat that same process all over your pumpkin. And then the best part about using a foam pumpkin with acrylic paint is that if you don't like one of the cats that you paint, you can just wipe it off really easily. And then it's like nothing ever happened. So you're just going to want to keep painting your cat faces all over your pumpkin. So I did a sort of zigzag repeating pattern, and then afterwards I filled in any spots that looked like they needed a cat face. So you would just want to do that all over your pumpkin. And so the acrylic paint dries really fast, so you can go back and do extra layers pretty quickly while you're painting them. And before you know it, you're going to have an adorable little cat pumpkin to display anywhere you want. So here you can see me filling in some of the blank spots at the bottom with more cats, just to kind of give better coverage of cat faces on my pumpkin. And you can give these cat pumpkins little eyes and noses if you want. I decided to just leave them blank because I liked the look, and here's our result. And once it's dry, you can put it on display like I did here on my TV stand. And now we can move on to the wooden bead garland, and you're going to need these wooden beads, your Halloween themed colored paints, a palette and some skewers, and then some sort of thread and a variety of paintbrushes. So first, once you take out your beads, you want to separate them out evenly by color, and then you're going to thread them onto the skewers so you can paint them without them getting paint all over the place. And as you can see, it's a bit difficult to paint them because they're round. I recommend picking them up to paint them, which I end up doing later. So here you can see that it's going to take a while to paint them just because they're round and messy, but with acrylic paint it's easy to wash off. And here you can see I picked them up, which is a lot easier to paint. And you're going to want to put a couple layers of paint of each color on your wooden beads just to make sure that the opacity is there. And here you can see me, I'm separating out the beads that I wanted to paint a design on and which ones I wanted to keep blank because I didn't want to paint a design in every single one. So the design I chose for my beads was polka dots. So similar to the cat heads, I just put the polka dots in a consistent pattern all over the beads. Some other design ideas, you could do stripes or triangles or some sort of cobweb shape. I just went with polka dots because I thought it was easy. And you can see I'm using the back of the paintbrush to get mostly even polka dots because I find that's a lot easier than using the brush end of the paintbrush. And I ended up painting designs on 7 of each color of bead. And once those were dry and I had as many as I wanted, I dumped them out on the plate with the solid color beads and then began threading them onto my string of choice, which was this pearl cotton. So I put a embroidery needle on my thread just to make it easier to go through the beads because since they're wooden beads, the holes in the center are not perfect and threading the string by itself is really difficult. So I recommend using some sort of needle to make this process go by faster. And you're gonna see that I kind of like mess up my design, dump them off the string, put them back on, take them off again. But eventually I got a pattern I was happy with. I kind of wanted to split up the polka dots and the solid ones in an even way, breaking up the polka dots by color and solids in a way that I thought looked nice. And then I hung up my finished garland on my TV stand. So now we can move on to my favorite craft, the paper bats. So you're going to need some paper and a pencil to make a template, scissors and double-sided tape, as well as some thick black cardstock. So first I made my bat templates by folding some paper hot dog and hamburger style. That way I could get a variety of bat shapes because I wanted some little bats as well as some bigger bats. So once I had that, I was able to start drawing my templates. So you can skip this and print out your own templates instead, but I was feeling fancy and wanted to make my own. But the key to this step is just having a variety of bat shapes. So after we finished our templates, we cut them out. So I ended up having 6 bat sizes in total. I wish I had had another smaller one, but that's okay. So next you're gonna wanna just arrange your templates on your black cardstock and trace them out. And I recommend trying to squish as many bats onto one piece of cardstock as possible, just to minimize any sort of waste that you have. So this is just one example of how I was able to arrange the bats. So after that one sheet, I ended up doing about 8 more, which was a lot of bats. So after you have all your bats traced out, you're gonna want to cut them all out, which will give you this big old pile of bats. In order to prep them to go on the wall, since I didn't want them to be super flat, I ended up bending up the wings so that they kind of had a more dynamic shape, and when they went on the wall they looked better. And then you're just gonna flip the bats around and put some double-sided tape on the back. And just repeat that for all your bats, making sure the pencil lines are on the back. And then once you're ready to stick them on the wall, be sure to arrange them so that the smaller bats start on one side and then the bigger bats end up on the other side. I think this way gives you a dynamic shape and makes it look like the bats are coming out from behind the TV or wherever you're starting your bats, and then ending with the bigger bats up on the top right. So after that, our bat wall is complete, and I'm really happy with how this one turned out. I thought it was super easy and looks amazing once it's done. So here are all 3 of our crafts done and on display. I think they were all really easy and fun to put together, so I highly recommend making at least one of these. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please subscribe and leave a like and a comment telling me which one was your favorite. Thank you for watching.